a day it has been. Leandre Fox here in the Las Vegas Review-Journal studio. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Vegas Nation Day 1 wrap-up show, sponsored by Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, your destination resort for football fans in Las Vegas. Nobody does a spectacle quite like Las Vegas, and that was no different tonight as the NFL took over the Strip. So let's take a look at some of the sights from the red, pink, magenta, purple carpet where the stars of college football got sharply dressed ahead of going into the green room and awaiting their draft moment. The Review-Journal's John Katsilometes also got to chat with the number 4 pick, New York Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner.
All right, John.
It's a new addition to the original sauce piece. You know, this is the original, so I had to spice it up a little bit to get this one, you know. So it's a great addition for sure.
What's in it?
Ain't nothing in it right now. You know, but probably around 5 p.m. when it's draft time, you know, I might throw a little something in there.
And the Raiders didn't have a pick in the first round, but they did host a draft party for club seat members, annual suite members, corporate partners, and other guests over at Dre's. And a reminder, the NFL is hosting a drone show over the fountains of Bellagio. If you miss the event tonight or Wednesday night, there will be one more showing at 8:11 and 10:11 p.m. on Friday. Now, as you all know by now, the Raiders did not have a draft pick tonight, but that doesn't mean our crew wasn't keeping an eye on their division rivals. With more on the AFC West, we'll send it out to Cassie Soto.
Thanks so much, Trey. Cassie Soto and Sam Gordon here, your Vegas Nation crew, inside of the Caesars Forum right next to the Draft Theater, where dreams were made tonight. Sam, day 1 of the 2022 NFL Draft taking place right here in Las Vegas. The emotions of these guys getting their names called by teams and their dreams coming true. It was quite an evening tonight.
No, it certainly was, Cassie, and 100,000 people plus outside Caesars Forum right now. Just a great atmosphere, and you talk about dreams coming true. Trayvon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Darryl Stingley, the list goes on and on and on. So many great young players, the future of the NFL, enter the league tonight, right? They got started tonight here in Las Vegas. It was awesome. And the best part, Cassie, we still got Friday and Saturday. So lot more dreams coming true tomorrow and Saturday as well.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing that there's still 2 more days because the Raiders will be able to finally make some picks. We know that they did not pick in day 1 because they got this guy named Davante Adams. So I'm sure Raiders fans were watching highlights of the star wide receiver when that number 22 pick came up on the board. But Sam, let's talk about the AFC West and the picks that they made tonight. How much better did the AFC West get? This teams that we know that are going to be incredible this season, and 4 playoff caliber teams in the AFC West.
Yeah, certainly, Cassie. You see what the Kansas City Chiefs did. They go defense, right? Yeah. Their defense struggled at times during the season last year. They go corner, and then they get a pass rusher. You talk about the Chargers. Where did they struggle? Offensive line. They go out and they get an offensive lineman. So those 2 teams address needs. Of course, the Broncos didn't have a first-round pick either. A guy named Russell Wilson's in town there. I think they will gladly have him. But yeah, that's where they're at. I think both teams did a good job of addressing needs, and the Raiders did a good job with their offseason addressing needs as well. Now, they still have, of course, picks throughout the remainder of the draft. It's not the end of the world that they didn't have a day 1 pick, but the teams that did in the AFC West did what they were supposed to do. They added players that you believe are going to be day 1 starters and contribute on their respective sides of the ball and be impact players.
Put yourselves in the shoes of Raiders GM Dave Ziegler or head coach Josh McDaniels, who watched the board tonight, watched the way that it fell. They come in with fresh minds tomorrow. Take a look at their board. What are you doing with that 86 pick, or are you trading up if you're the Raiders?
Well, I'm trading up if I think there's a blue chip, like a game-changing player that might take a tumble. We don't know if that's going to happen yet because, of course, the second, third rounds haven't started. But if the Raiders stand pat and stay at number 86, Cass, I think there's one place they can go is the offensive line, right? They've done a great job addressing their pass rush, addressing their receiving core in the offseason. They were already solid at linebacker, but offensive line was shaky at various points throughout the course of the season. Of course, you expect some natural growth and development with young players, but at the same time, having somebody else in there that can possibly start or compete for a starting job, adding depth, I think is a great option for the Raiders if they do choose to do that.
Well, a little bit earlier, you mentioned the 100,000 fans that were here in attendance. It sure seemed like that, if not more. Sam, Las Vegas has put on a show for day one of the 2022 NFL Draft, and our own James Schaefer was able to speak with a couple fans who were able to experience it all firsthand.
Las Vegas is playing host to the nation for the first day of NFL Draft, so we spoke with fans from around the country to get their thoughts on how Vegas did as a host and what they thought of the first round.
11 out of 10. It's been absolutely incredible.
Sin City was leaving a good impression on fans. We asked what they thought of Las Vegas's first NFL draft.
Honestly, my favorite part is actually witnessing this and being here for the first time. And like I said, being on my bucket list as being an NFL fan and being a Saints fan. It's nothing greater than seeing our future right here.
But it's been really good. I like the way they put it together. A lot of people. Yeah, it's been good, but Nashville kind of set the bar. Nashville's hard to beat, yeah.
A Lions fan was in the crowd with a smile on his face. We asked him about the Aiden Hutchinson pick.
I love it. I'm really pumped about the pick. I mean, he's our hometown guy, hometown pick. I'm not a Michigan fan, but he's our hometown kid, so I'm really pumped that he's staying in Michigan. I think he's going to be a great stud for us, so I'm excited.
Another satisfied face was that of a Saints fan. We asked him about the news on Chris Olave.
And him and Michael Thomas, obviously they have that connection. They work out in the offseason, so I think that kind of helped out, but we really needed a wide receiver in the draft, and we finally got one.
Thanks, team. It's Heidi here with Vinny Bonsignore. We're out at Raiders headquarters, where it was a very quiet day at the facility, Vinny. But at number 22, the Packers get a linebacker. What did you think of their pick, and what did you think when that happened?
Well, it's not so much who they picked, it was the position that they took. And remember, the 22nd pick was the Raiders' pick. That's what the Raiders gave up to go get Davante Adams. And it just shows you because the Packers went in the direction of Quay Walker, the Georgia linebacker. Previously, prior to that, a bunch of great wide receivers, the best wide receivers in this draft, were already off the board. So if you're bringing it home to the Raiders, had the Raiders stayed at number 22, not traded for Davante Adams, and hoped to get a wide receiver at number 22, they would have been shut out. They would have had to move up in the draft, which is what they basically did to get Davante Adams. So the trade worked out for the Raiders. There was no one at number 22, at least at wide receiver, that gives them the value that Davante Adams, nor really anybody at 20, from that 22 and beyond. So a good trade by the Raiders, and I think tonight showed that they were justified in doing so.
There were a lot of trades in this first round, a lot of bouncing around for a lot of teams. What do you anticipate that the Raiders might do in day two?
Well, they've got the third pick, number 86. I have a weird feeling that they're not going to stay at number 86, whether they move up to potentially catch a falling star in that second round, or they turn the 5 picks that they do have into 8 or 9 picks by trading down and picking up some extra picks along the way. It's a good draft at that area of the draft. The meat of this draft is in the middle rounds. So if the Raiders can, because they traded their first and second round pick to the Packers for Davante Adams, they're left with 5 picks. If they could turn that into 8, 9 picks and stay within that 4th, 5th round, to pick up extra players in those 2 rounds, I think they do well for themselves to do that.
And here's what head coach Josh McDaniels had to say about what the Raiders could do on day 2 of the NFL draft.
We'll be very aware of how it's kind of fallen tomorrow by the time we get to pick in the 3rd round, if that's when we pick. And, and so, what's happening, in the 2nd round as we head into the 3rd round, who may have changed spots, what they may need in front of us. And then what's really the most important thing is what's left on our board that we really are interested in.
And that will do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into our Vegas Nation Day 1 wrap-up show, sponsored by Virgin Hotels Las Vegas, your destination resort for football fans in Las Vegas. Remember to tune into VegasNation.com for all of your draft needs all weekend. The Las Vegas Raiders are scheduled to select in the 3rd round at number 86 tomorrow. Rounds 2 and 3 begin at 4 p.m. and our entire Vegas Nation crew will be giving you all the details. For our crew, I'm Leandre Fox. Thank you so much for watching.